Day one includes several steps. The first one being we're going to stitch our back and our front together. It's the yoke and the back, and we're going to do it at our shoulder seams. It's going to look like this when we pin it. We're going to make sure that the ends are even on both ends as well as the edges are even. Pin perpendicular. You're going to have a right shoulder and a left shoulder. We want to make sure that we do all of that. We're going to do that all in the first step, 5/8 inch seam. All of these are going to be 5/8 inch seams unless said differently. And then even though it doesn't tell us, we need to press that seam open when we're done. Want to double check and make sure that your heat of your iron isn't on too high or it will melt this. But after we do that, then we're going to stitch around the neck edge, and we're going to stay stitch. We're going to do that on 1/8 of an inch less than our seam allowance, which will make it 4/8. And then when we've completed that, we want to make sure that I would stitch it on the wrong side so that your seam stays open. I want to make sure that that happens. And then you're going to pin your interfacing piece. You need to cut your interfacing first. So I would use my piece of fabric as my sample or as my pattern, so I don't have to worry about making sure that it's all on green and all that good stuff and folding it. So I'm going to lay this on here. I'm going to cut this out. Then I need to make sure that I trim it, and then I'm going to put it on the wrong side. Double check and make sure you have your wrong side shown. And as it tells in here, it tells to make sure that you cut your corners just enough, about at 5/8 inch on this outside corner, the one without the notches. And then after you do that, you're going to connect it. I'll show you a video on how to connect the collar to your jacket neck edge. But before we do that, so make sure that you get your seams, your stay stitching. You need to cut out your interfacing as well as fuse it. And then we'll do one more video on how to attach the outer layer of your collar.